Hey guys, Professor Bill, Comic Book University, and we are going to be talking about the upcoming Action Comics issue number 1000. I am so excited for this, and we're going to be talking about this right now. Now, a lot of what I'm going to be reading from is, well, everything I'm reading from is from this particular issue of Comic Shop News. This is an old school, like for crying out loud. They're on issue number 1599. Okay, that's this one. And this is from a couple of weeks ago. So they're already over 1600. What do you call it? And like it's weekly, you know what I'm saying? For crying out loud. Like this comic has been out forever. So it's funny that over 1600 and they're like, oh yeah, issue number 1000 this thing's coming out. But it takes a lot more to write Action Comics in my opinion. And this is very much collaborative. So that being the case, I still recommend you get Comic Shop News. I love it. But I'm reading this one right here. And I've been planning on doing this for probably a month now. You know what I'm saying? I just never found the time. Finally, I'm like, you know what? Make the darn time. Okay? So here I am. Action Comics number 1000. This is a milestone. No comic in U.S. history has ever gone to issue number 1000. This is a milestone in more ways than just one. And I feel that in many regards, like Marvel could have very much just boom, kept on hitting out, and brought Spider-Man up, or the Fantastic Four even up to beat Action Comics. Action went out of print for a long time, you know what I'm saying? But they started issue 1. Fantastic Four started issue 1. Spider-Man started issue 1. Technically started issue 0, you know, because they had Amazing Fantasy issue number 15. But the point is, they never went out of their way to advance past what Action Comics numbers is. And I believe it was purely out of respect. And that's a good thing. Realistically, if any comic should have deserved it even more than this, it would have been Detective Comics. Because that did actually come out a year before Action Comics. But at the same time, Action Comics issue 1 didn't debut Batman. It debuted, well, the Yellow Claw. You know, so like, who cares? Who cares about that? But it wasn't until issue number 27 that Batman appeared. But issue number 1 of Action Comics featured Superman. And it was, make no mistake, guys, this was an anthology comic. Action Comics was meant to be an anthology comic, you know? That was also the debut of Zatanna. That's Zatanna's father, you know, long before there was a Zatanna. Long before. So she wasn't until, like, if I remember correctly, she wasn't until Silver Age. In fact, I'm positive she wasn't until Silver Age. It was way past Flash Comics issue number 4. You know what I'm saying? So, wow, dude, I'm just saying. Action Comics number 1000. This is very worthwhile that this should be the first U.S. comic to come to issue number 1000. It's Superman, for crying out loud. Okay, so what do we got here? Let's read this. There's going to be 2 releases of this, okay? The first one is going to be a deluxe 80-page prestige format comic. The other, a celebratory 384-page hardcover. That's crazy. That's crazy. So the hardcover, appropriately entitled Action Comics number 1000, 80 Years of Superman hardcover, features a look at 8 decades of the Man of Steel and his extended family and friends. The issue will feature not only Superman's debut from Action Comics issue number 1, just talked about that. That's only like, what, a couple pages? So it's going to feature that, but it's also going to feature the first appearances of Brainiac, Supergirl, the Fortress of Solitude, and so much more. I'm pretty sure they're going to be doing the micro city of Kandor. I'm hoping they're going to do Crypto the Super Dog. Like, there's so much that they could do, and that's awesome. I mean, 384 pages, nothing to shake a stick at. So you got plenty of room, you know what I'm saying, to start introducing these firsts. That is fantastic. That's fantastic. So already I'm sold. I'm already sold for this hardcover. But it gets better. They're not going to let you go. All right, they're going to get a chokehold on us. So the issue will also include essays about the importance of Superman in comics and popular culture by a variety of writers, including the Pulitzer Prize-winning author and cartoonist Jules Feiffer, whose great comic book heroes first introduced many of us to the glorious world of Golden Age comics. I'm going to get back to that in a second. There's also going to be a historical piece by Paul Levitz, and most intriguing of all, a previously unpublished 1940s Superman tale believed to have been written by Jerry Siegel and with art by the Joe Shuster Studio. salvaged 50 years ago and hidden away until now. So this is like finding a lost Jimi Hendrix tape, like Studio Masters tape, and being like, oh, hey, check this out, man. Jimi Hendrix did a fourth album. Who knew? It's like that. It's like that. So believed to have been written by Jerry Siegel, and although Joe Shuster didn't draw it, his studios did. So they know what his thing is here. So here's something that's very interesting about this. A lot of people are like, essays? Who needs essays? Look, any Led Zeppelin fans here? Okay, me, my hand is raised. Look, Led Zeppelin, there was a Led Zeppelin tribute album released. What was that, like 1992, 1994, whatever. I think it was 1994, 1990, somewhere between 94 and 96. Anyway, it was called Encomium. And it was just a whole bunch of people, like Duran Duran did Thank You. Hootie and the Blowfish did a song. That was actually a really good song. Anyway, a whole bunch of people got together and did some things. Henry Rollins did something with them, for crying out loud. It was awesome. Also, that girl who sang Winter did something with Robert Plant specifically. 10 Years Gone, I think it was. Anyway, it was really good. And inside, I had the tape. Yeah, that's how old I am. Inside the tape, they actually had some essays in there to discuss, even though that nobody redid Stairway to Heaven, they discussed Stairway to Heaven, the single, hands down, most requested song in the history of creation. And these people started doing poems and histories and analogies and essays about Stairway to Heaven and what it felt that it meant to them. Now, what's wild is all these different interpretations of, Henry Rollins did Four Sticks, if I remember. Anyway, all these different interpretations of the songs, it was one thing. But for me, the thing that I thought was the coolest was finding these other people, celebrities and non-celebrities, talking about what Led Zeppelin meant to them and their interpretation of what it actually means in the first place. That was wild. That was honestly one of my favorite parts of that. So I can honestly say, if these people are going to be talking, doing essays on the importance of the anthology book of Action Comics to begin with, and even essays just on Superman himself, I am down for reading those. All right, that getting perspectives by people in the industry, by people related to the industry, by people who actually knew some of these industry firsts. I'm down. I'm down for that. So that right there, that's probably the biggest, to me, that's one of the biggest perks aside from the actual first appearances of all these other characters, which have me so excited. So a week later, and they're going to get back to more of this, but a week later, history is going to be remade when Action Comics issue number 1000 premieres. So the hardcover will be released, and then a week after that, the actual comic will be released. The 80-page spectacular. So the Jim Lee cover is sure to attract attention. Oh yeah. Since it features something that fans have been requesting since Superman's big costume change. The red trunks are returning. So is this actually going to be the cover? I'm not entirely sure. Don't really care. For me, I'm over the red trunks. I'm over the red trunks. Whatevs, man. But I always love when the cape is drawn like that. Like, that's just one of my favorite. Actually, here's an even bigger version of it. I always loved when the cape was drawn like that. It's like it's literally blowing in the wind, but it's not a big Batman cape. So it's his blanket from when he was in the rocket ship. So what else we got here? That's not the only noteworthy aspect of this 80-page issue. The book will also feature the first story by Brian Michael Bendis. Since the announcement of his exclusive contract with DC, 3-year contract, my peeps, anyway, he originally wrote a small tale before he went into Marvel Comics. It appeared in Batman Chronicles issue number 21. I don't remember ever reading that. Bendis will contribute, besides that, he will contribute a brand new 10-page tale that will feature art by Jim Lee, current Superman creators Peter J. Tomasi and Patrick Gleason, awesome, and they will contribute a 15-page story, while current Action Comics maestro, I don't like this, Dan Jurgens will both write and draw a 15-page tale for this landmark issue. Why did I say I don't like this? Dan Jurgens is more than just the current Action Comics writer. He's actually the writer for one of the most beloved runs on Superman in the past. So there's that. This is by Cliff Biggers. Cliff Biggers, get your act straight, brother. No. Dan Jurgens is more than just the current writer, okay? He's a lot more than the current writer. Anyway, the 1000th issue of Action Comics is an incredible milestone in pop culture and a testament to. Yeah, I know, we know that. So anyway, what else is this going to be featuring? Contributors to this once-in-a-lifetime issue include legendary Superman movie director Richard Donner and New York Times bestselling writer Jeff Johns, with art by Oliver Koipel. I hope I'm pronouncing that name right. Sorry. Other contributing creative teams will include Paul Dini, Jose Luis Garcia Lopez, Tom King, love you, man, with Clayman and Jordi Belair. Brad Meltzer is going to be on this, with John Cassidy and Laura Martin. Louise Simonson, I love her. I was kind of hoping Walt would be here too, but I'm good. With Jerry Ordway. Fantastic. Scott Snyder, hello. And Tim Sale, dude. And more to be announced. This is like, there's already so much, and they're like, dude, we've got so much more. We just don't have it all together yet. That's crazy. It's crazy. In addition, this issue will commemorate 8 decades of Superman with 8 decades spanning variant covers by some of the most talented artists in comics, including Steve Rude, Michael Cho, Dave Gibbons, Michael Allred, Jim Steranko, Joshua Middleton, Dan Jurgens, Lee Bermejo, I think it's Bermejo. DC will also offer a blank variant cover edition for those who want, you know what you're going to do with it. When you go out and get your commission pieces, there's a blank cover for you. I personally never found any interest in that whatsoever, but if you guys do have access to some of these, you know, like if you get, like if you know, oh, hey, Jim Lee's going to be at the Comic-Con this year. I happen to have this blank cover. Do it, because it's personalized. That's your very own unique variant cover, dude. You cannot go wrong with that. So, just saying. I might do something like that with Captain America one day. Why not? Anyway, this one wouldn't be bad either. So, originally DC had included this is really cool. DC had originally intended to include a special poster featuring all 1,000 Action Comics covers. This challenges of packaging the. Okay, this is bad English. This is bad writing. So they're having a hard time packaging this with the hardcover copy. So it's going to have to be done separately. I'm okay with that. That's cool. But they may be delayed. Dude, as long as I got my receipt and I can go up and I can get this thing and you stamp it and I get my freaking poster, we're good with it. So this is amazing. Now, the only thing to really talk about now would be the price, right? Action Comics issue number 1000, 80 Years of Superman. A 384-page hardcover is priced at $29.99. $30 for this? That's it? That's less than $1 per page. I want you to think about that. You know, say that. In fact, that's less than 10 cents a page. That's crazy. Less than 10 cents a page. Look, just to put that into perspective, I'm in Canada. I'm an American in Canada, and my the currency here is a little bit inflated to the American dollar, the Canadian dollar, loonie. The Canadian loonie is I know it's the name of a bird, is a little bit inflated to what the American dollar is, and I have to buy if I have a lot of pages I want to print, like copy and print in black and white. I can get it done for 8 cents a copy if I do more than 100 pages. And we're talking full color pages and all this good stuff with Superman in a commemorative. Dude, do I really have to sell this? Nah, I'm just going to buy it. So it's scheduled for an April 11th release. So April 11th. Whew. Action Comics number 1000, an 80-page prestige format. And mind you, that's 80 pages with no ads. No ads in the 1000th actual 80-page issue number 1000. Whew, only $7.99. $8, dude. $8. That is 10 cents a page. Will follow 1 week later on April 18th. So April 11th, $30. The hardcover, which, oh my God. I want to read that so bad. I want that so bad, and like that's not even, I got kids, so that can't even be a coffee table read. That's got to be like an up here read. You know what I'm saying? Where I read it and I put it up here and just tease people that I got it and y'all don't. That's that is awesome. And then obviously all of us for the most part are going to be getting the 80-page standard issue that'll be released 1 week after that. And it's just going to be your average comic book right now. Your average DC comic book right now is $2.99. If you want the digital copy in there, it's $3.99. This is going to be $7.99. So it's twice as much as your standard, but it's 80 pages, so it's 4 times the size of your standard comic book to begin with. DC has always been good with prices. They've always been good with their fans. They've been good with people, and man, okay. So the celebration will spread across the DC superhero line as well, with April's superhero titles featuring Superman-themed variant covers, and DC promises that there's still more to come. After all, April is the first month of Superman's 80th year of existence. Thank you, DC. And besides giving us total awesomeness, I can't help but to repeat over and over again, besides the awesomeness that they bring, the price is right. to quote a game show that's been around for a long time, get your pet spayed and neutered. The idea is that they always give great prices. This is fantastic. I couldn't have asked for better than this. Guys, I am seriously looking forward to this. When I get my hands on it, I will review the heck out of this. You know what I'm saying? Maybe I'll get really lucky and somebody from DC will see this and be like, hey man, here's an advanced copy. And then I can just swoon. But, whatever. When my channel gets bigger, we'll see. Anyway, guys, that's it for me. I am ecstatic over this. In case you can't tell, the energy is so thick you can cut it with a knife. Gene Okerlin. All right, guys, that's it for me. Professor Bell, Comic Book University. Questions below. Class dismissed.